So, like I was saying, what fell out is the World, the Knight of Cups, and the Page of Cups. For a while now, you've been trying to get something off the ground. You've been thinking about it. You've been exploring different possibilities of how to make it work. Just in general, trying to mesh your ideas about social justice, fairness, philanthropy for some of you, and your work. You just don't want it to be about work and money anymore. It has to be more than that. And you've been struggling a little bit to find where exactly that fits and how you can make a living, be happy, express yourself, and at the same time do good and be there for people. Well, good news is that in November, starting today, as Mercury goes direct, you find the opportunities. You finally can see things clearly. It's as if you've been in a fog. Some things you've been very wrong about. And starting today, you have like a 20-day cycle coming up where you just realize things. Every time I do a Pisces video, a Virgo texts me. What is it about your energy that just like pulls what you want towards itself? I think that's part of why the past few months, while these conjunctions have been happening, have been so frustrating, because you're generally so good at getting what you want by just putting it out there. And that has not been the case, but it's definitely the case now. If you're in a committed relationship, spend some time with that person. Get out of your normal environment. Go do something fun. It can't always be about work. It can't always be about your feelings. It can't always be about the drama. I'm not saying that you cause drama. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it can't always be about that stuff. Sometimes it can just be fun and lighthearted and reconnecting and having a good time, especially if you're with a Taurus. They're like, come on, baby, let's go have some fun somewhere. Please. Take the kids with you if you want. No problem. Just go reconnect with your loved ones. Now, that aha moment that you're having, you may be having it about a Gemini, and it may be around the lunar eclipse in Gemini, where you're realizing that you were actually quite wrong about a situation. So you may have a little explaining to do. Also, there's a great sense of community in this reading. So if you wanted to start something with friends, they're as receptive as you are forthcoming. They want to do this with you. And Ace of Wands, you get some perfect opportunities, especially the World. If this is something abroad, then it's very, very promising. For those of you who are single and looking for love, this is one of those months where you may, you remember what I said about like, you can pull things towards you. You may really, really want somebody right now that turns out to just not be interested. And that's so harsh for anyone to hear. It's obviously harsh to find that out about yourself, but it has nothing to do with you. It's nothing personal. It's just the nature of your relationship doesn't allow for it. I think some of you are trying to parlay a friendship into a romantic relationship, and it's a mistake, because that person, not to sound hokey, does truly value your friendship and wants to remain friends with you and doesn't want to destroy that with whatever hidden drama would come up if you were together. 9 of Wands, 7 of Cups, and the Judgment card. And they're not at all shy in telling you. You've been a bit murky. You've been hiding your feelings. You haven't said anything quite yet. And in November, you may feel the urge to be like, hey, guess what? I like you. Don't do it. Because I don't think that you'll like what you hear back. And there's a good reason for this too, because now is not the time to be trying to get into a new relationship. And it's certainly not time to be overwhelming yourself or others with lust. That's how you may interpret this magical energy, but you don't have to. You can just as easily use it towards that new project, towards collaborations, towards cementing existing relationships and friendships, and spending time with your loved ones. But the instinct may be, okay, I'm feeling very good, I'm feeling very attractive, I can use this energy to pull someone towards me. You will pull them, but I don't think you'll like what you will like what they have to say. So use your powers for good is what I'm trying to say, not for circumventing somebody else's will, because they will also start to feel that way about it. And you don't want that kind of energy. You don't want anyone thinking that you're trying to manipulate them into liking you, because you don't have to. Look at all this love. The world, the lovers, 2 of cups, 10 of cups. There's so much love here, but also this is predisposing you to an intense kind of sexuality, an intense kind of lust. And you may see romantic opportunities where they are not, because it's just love on the brain. You've got it on your brain. But I think this reality check here is a really good one. For some of you, the reality check is go ahead with that business because your motivations and your conscience is in the right place, and you should absolutely do that. But for those of you who feel like this is the energy needed to go and, snag that partner, nothing doing. It's just not the right time. And they're not the right person. You're just getting overwhelmed. And so for many Pisceans, physical attraction is a release. Lust, when it builds up in you, you need that release. And so you can often pick the wrong partners because you pick them out of need instead of want. I'm aware of how much of a read that is. My Cancer rising is also howling inside. It's true. Water signs be picking out of need instead of want, except the Scorpios, because everybody wants them. So what are you going to do? They can be needy and want you and hate you and ignore you at the same time. You guys, when you like someone, can get super needy and you know it. Don't get mad. Cancer risings are even more needy. So, but you do. You can. And this time you should just save yourself the hassle because you don't need it. Let me put it to you like this. If you focus in the right areas of your life right now, the love will come to you. Focus on being successful. Focus on making this project work. Focus on that new idea that you have. Give yourself the gift of prosperity. Use your magic wisely. 5 of Cups, 8 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, this dream that you have with this specific person, the disillusionment is harsh. But also, thank God now you know. I mean, it's not just the cards, you're gonna find out. They're gonna say something to you. Whether you bring it up or not, but if you bring it up, it'll just be embarrassing. But they're gonna tell you in their own way that this is not doing. You don't want to be the girl in the TikTok video who's trying to kiss her best friend and then the best friend puts his mask on because he's not interested in girls. And then he's uncomfortable and you're uncomfortable. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just giving you an example of how awkward and embarrassing it can get when you assume something about somebody. Because in other areas of your life, you can assume all the success you want because it's there. But in this particular area, the overwhelming nature of it makes you just see through these not even rose-tinted glasses. They're like fuchsia tinted. Everything to you feels like an invitation towards love, and it's not. So when we get to November 21st and the sun moves, you may find yourself feeling a little bit sad. I thought that in this situation, you know, things were going to work out. And I thought that, you know, that my instincts were right. And that can cause, like, you know, a bit of a dip and some regret and some sadness, but only if you persist in your folly. Sure, if you persist long enough, you will become wise, William Blake. But do you want to do it that way? You're wise enough. You don't need to do it like this, do you? Do you? And who cares anyway? I mean, everybody has an opinion. It doesn't mean anything. You don't need a specific person. You need love, and you need to be cherished, and you need to be respected, and you need that with someone that you're attracted to and who will be attracted back. You don't need a specific person, and it has to be that person. If you're already in that mode where you're like, no, it has to be that person, pull all the way back, because you're making a mistake. Don't make that person more important than you. Don't make that person more important than your ambitions. And certainly don't waste all your magic on someone who hasn't even really given you the indication that they're interested, aside from like wanting to really be your friend. Pisceans often have to learn that people want to be their friends and not sleep with them. I heard it when I said it. It's such a read, and I know, but it's true, so I'm sorry. See, now I feel bad because I'm not trying to read you like that. It's just that your boundaries are so non-existent that you often assume that other people's boundaries are also like that. But most people, compared to you, have extremely firm boundaries. And I'm just afraid you're going to bump into them and, you know, scratch yourself up. So don't. Other than that, go for it, go for it, go for it. Money, success, great times with friends, traveling, it's all here and it's all positive. So don't let it get you down, you know? I'm sure this will make more sense when we look at the cards and it won't seem so harsh. So why don't we do that now before I say something else that's going to be super awkward again? See this awkward energy? This is me getting into your energy. This is me saying stuff and then being like, oh, I could have said that better. It is what it is, bro. This is where we're at. Let's look at the cards. I love you. Hi, Pisces. Welcome to the second part of your reading. I took a nap before I did this. I don't know if it's your 12th houseness or if it's the connection to the subconscious, but I think about doing a reading and I want to go to sleep. Not that I don't want to do it, it just makes me want to go to sleep. It's like I have to be super rested and just having woken up. Maybe it's the connection with the other side. I'm not sure what it is, but let's start, okay? I will be drinking water throughout, and I suggest you do the same. Here we go. First card out, the World. There is so much that is possible for you right now. And it starts with you choosing you. Because the person you would like to choose, their affection for you is not quite as strong as you would like it to be. And it's actually of a different nature. So there is an opportunity here past that relationship for something really great in terms of career, in terms of a new relationship, but this persistence that you may show when it comes to getting a certain someone that is not right now a potential partner to become a potential partner, it can be a painful enterprise. Let's put it that way. Now, for those of you who are in an established relationship, it's a very different story. For those of you who are established, maybe you're married, maybe you have children, maybe both, things just get more and more deep, more and more wonderful. If you are with a Gemini, things are looking like they're finally beginning to click. You've been trying and trying and trying to get them to, even themselves out. Finally, you feel like, okay, this is heading in the direction of commitment. This is heading in the direction of marriage. Those of you who are involved with a Taurus and you are on steady ground, things just get better and better. Now, that doesn't preclude you from some of this weird turnaround energy that we have going on. So in terms of relationship, you're good, right? Those of you who are single, that's what I'm saying. Don't start something on such shaky ground as right now, especially if the person is not reciprocating. Those of you who are with someone, great, things naturally get deeper, perfect. In terms of work, there are a few areas where you need to look. There are some rumors, okay? There are some hidden talks going on. People are talking behind your back, it seems, and it's about things that have happened at work. It's about your character. I think it involves things that you regret having done or said, and now have to in some way explain yourself, which of course you don't want to do, and no one is quite expecting you to do it, but it's the loss of reputation, it's the loss of respect that becomes an issue, right? So if you don't want people talking, if you do regret whatever it is that's happened, sometimes Pisces, not often, and as you've noticed, I never ask you to, sometimes it's the right thing to apologize. Sometimes you are in the wrong and need to issue an apology to someone whom you may have gone out of your way to wrong. Now, if that's the case, I can see that there's quite a lot of guilt on your part, especially if you consider that karmically things that you do to others turn around and come back to you in the areas where you happen to be doing well. Okay, so this is damage control now when it comes to work, career, work colleagues, even social relationships. This could be a friend. This could be a friend you work with. There's some iteration of this friendship, work, gossip, cluster. I'm not going to say the second part of that word, that needs to be addressed. Now, either you're going to address it, or someone else has already addressed it behind your back, and there's a lot of talk going on. Not talk that you would be at all comfortable with if you could hear it. Talks that paint you in a pretty negative light. And unfortunately, it's because no one is giving them the real story. The real story of whatever has happened is not out there because you have not said anything. And then, of course, there is the possibility that perhaps what is out there is true. Either way, it's time to control the narrative. So what you do now is that you say something. Either you apologize or you set the record straight, whatever you're more comfortable with, whatever you think is necessary, but do so not because you're necessarily worried about the other person's feelings, because I know you're not. This is more just damage control for your work. This is something that you should do to save yourself from that bad reputation, because what it looks like here is that whatever is hidden and being talked about behind your back snowballs into something much more dangerous. You can never, in the I Ching, it says that it is a mistake to deem certain people as more important or less important. Often, in times of adversity, those who seemed like they had no position and could never be of any help suddenly become very important people. So if you have engaged in some sort of talking or sabotage of someone else, that comes back now. That person may have seemed insignificant at the time, but fate has a way of making the insignificant very powerful when karma is using them as a tool. So we want to just stay away from all that because that's not at all pleasant. Okay? So what do we do when we know that we may have ended up on the wrong side of karma? Make amends. Be direct, forthright, say what it is, apologize if you need to, and most importantly, don't do it anymore. Okay? Now, if you are the one who is the victim here, who is the one who was treated badly by someone who's trying to sabotage you, you have heard from other people that this person in a position of authority has had it out for you, is trying to, get you either off the job or take money off of, out of your pocket, take food off your plate. If you are the one that this is happening to, then also the judgment card applies. Say something. Do not rely on just the rumors that you are hearing. Now is the time to confront the situation, because if you do not confront it, the anger, the confusion, the resentment, the regret, the alienation will affect those parts of your life that are doing well. And of course, right now it is your job to protect the parts of your life that are doing well, because you owe it to them. And you also owe it to yourself to right whatever is wrong. Whether you are the perpetrator or the victim, it doesn't matter. It is still your obligation to say something and resolve the situation. So, not the most pleasant news to hear, but extremely important if you are involved in some kind of workplace intrigue. Now, going back up to the first part there, just remember what I said in terms of feeling like you got it in the bag with someone, but you guys are not in a relationship, you are not even together, and you feel like this is the time to broach that conversation. It is not. Not at all. Not at all. There are opportunities for those who are already established. If you are not established, this is not the right time. Anything started now falls apart in a couple of months. So it's just not worth it. Okay? All right, we're going to get right into the extended. If you would like a personal recorded reading, there is a Cameo link below, which if you use that, you will get a recorded 7 to 10 minute reading from me sent to you. If you would instead like a one-on-one video chat reading where we can interact, there is a Chatalize link below, and I think there are about 4 slots open right now for mid-November. The Instant Extended and the Vimeo Extended are the same reading, usually about 15 to 20 minutes, and it's the extension, it's the further going into this reading where we shuffle through for each card. The extended has been really lit lately. And if you are interested in these rings, we call them the Revolution rings. This is a company I started with my best friend. This is the High Priestess and this is the Empress. They are available at a link below as well. And there's also a link to our Quietest Revolution rings Instagram where you can see the Rev Fam wearing the rings. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And last but not least, if you are interested in a daily horoscope where we take a look at the astrological transits of the day and how they affect your sign, check out at the Quietest Revolution on Instagram. And join the Rev Fam. We have a lot of fun over there. Okay? Love you, love you, love you. If you're wondering about the Sagittarius season full moon satsang online, it is sold out. It actually sold out the day we put it up, but we will be putting up more links to more online events. All right, so stay tuned for those. Love you lots. Let's get into this extended right now.